Hey, Pete.
Rhodesy.
Not much, but shaking, brother.
Oh, man. All four cheeks and a couple of chins.
Sweet. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle.
How are you doing? How you dealing with the heat, brother Drummer?
Good, man. I survived playing this past weekend. So
yeah, clue me in. Where were you playing?
I played at the Quarry Cable Park in Crystal Lake on Friday. That's a cool place. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, that was a gravel pit lake. So they did a really nice job of it. They got a nice bar, nice patio. They got, cables running around the lake that you can actually go out there and wakeboard on. I think you can swim in there, but they had no swimming signs up the day we were there. We got a nice little beach that you can just kind of park it on and just sit there and just stare at the water if you want to all day.
I'm sure a lot of people are staring at the water like you.
No, actually, I will say, I think it was a previous conversation we had. This is actually the first time I've played an outside venue that the sun was to my back and not my face.
Oh.
So, I got a little bit of color on the back half of me, but at least it wasn't like just blaring in our face. Like
Jacksonville, Florida tan.
Yeah, exactly.
Bongo Mike, did you get the rest this weekend or no rest for the weary?
No, actually it started on Thursday night. I went out to the Addison Rock and Wheels to go check out Hollywood Swinging, which is the Kool in the Gang tribute band.
Heidi Fleiss?
Never mind. Do you like Hollywood? Do you like Kool in the Gang? You big Kool fan?
Absolutely. I wish I could play it on bass.
Exactly. Yeah, they were good. And then Superfly Orchestra opened, but their set got cut short because of lightning. And then on Friday, I went to the Long Grove Strawberry Fest, and I saw Petty Kings, which is a Tom Petty tribute band. Actually, a bunch of guys who are in Soundtracks of a Generation are in that. And it was, that was really my music for the weekend. I didn't make it out. I know Rhodesy's, he went to Ara, right, on
Sunday. Yeah, I went and saw Ara. Actually, I went and saw Matchbox 90s at the Ore for a little bit. They were really good, solid. And then I went over to see Ara with Wolfgang. And great show, man. Ara, I'm telling you, man, their vocals are spot on, man. They just kill it.
Game on.
Yeah.
So how did everybody do with the heat, though? I mean, the week before, bass is passing out and whatnot. Everybody okay?
I bought a 1200 CFM fan. That's how I got through the weekend.
Smart. That's good.
Is that one of those industrial blowers?
No, actually, this is more of a traditional looking fan, but same concept. You can kind of direct it. And all
Will it push a boat?
You know what? If it was a small enough boat and it was waterproof to a certain degree, yeah, I could see you getting around in a dinghy for sure.
You said
use
dinghy.
A little wind
I
here.
said dinghy.
Dinghy.
Hey man, that's what they're
dinghies,
called.
Mikey Dermont. Bongo Mike, how's the pool? What color is it? Is it green yet?
It's blue.
I'm
Hey,
there.
Brian. We can hear you. We can't see you. Turn your camera on.
Wow,
Just
got it
like
to work.
that.
You guys are like a real team in there.
Close enough.
We're something. Welcome to Hollywood Squares.
Scott may not make it. He said he's on a job.
Oh, that's okay. We got you and Danny. That's all that matters.
And Danny went to the dentist today and he's all full of numb, but I told him, so just don't put the video on. We can still hear you.
No, we want to see that. And we want to see you drink water.
Yeah.
Come on, let's get a little anesthesia action going on here.
I'm still down in Florida, doing that Florida thing.
Oh,
Heading back this week.
So how's it going down there? Are you all squared away?
No, my wife and I just got back from the condo. It's still a freaking mess, man. It's still a
Now,
mess.
tell me again where you're at, Mike, down there.
Madeira Beach, which is it's
Oh,
nestled
yeah, yeah.
between Clearwater and St. Pete. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
we love it. We loved it a lot more a year ago when we had our condo. Now it's just brick and nothing flooring. I mean, there's really
Is this
nothing
the
there.
first time, is it a condo or you said?
Yeah, yeah, it's
Is
a
this the
condo.
first time you've had damage from storms?
Yeah, we've had it for 4 years now, and we've been through several hurricanes. Most of which have been, I don't know, category threes, fours, whatever,
Okay.
but never had quite the surge that this Hurricane Helene had, and just it
Mm.
devastated the entire area along the barrier
Um,
islands, as they call it,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
right
I've
the
got
side.
friends. One of them, they're on their third repair,
Oh,
their third remodel, and they've been there 8 years, I think.
Jesus.
So I don't know. And I thought they were over there, not far from Fort Myers. So
Yeah, it's all on
not
that
too
Gulf
far
Coast,
from
and
you.
yeah, Bongo Mike's familiar with it too. He's got a place down by Fort
It, it,
Myers.
it it gets real frustrating, and I can see why my dad wants to sell the condo. It's, how many
Yeah,
times you're going to keep going through it and keep
Right,
rebuilding.
exactly. Exactly. I mean,
exactly.
it is beautiful down there, but man, that's the risk you take with it. You want all that beautiful paradise.
Paradise comes with a price, right?
It
Right.
does, man.
Mikey Dermont, we talked a lot about Yacht Rock last week with our last guest and
Yeah,
Joey O'Connor. What
O'Connell. Jimmy, you said Joey.
Jim,
You totally missed that. Let's take two. We talked a lot about Yacht Rock last week, and Mike
Jimmy
Durant. We had Jimmy
O'Connor.
O'Connell.
Jimmy O'Connell.
Yeah.
We had
Wow.
Jackie O'Houlihan on the phone.
Mark Odette's total yacht rock now.
That's what he's doing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and he
Yacht
moved
Rock's a
to
big
Phoenix area,
Arizona.
so I guess he's fired it up again back down there.
Yacht Rock's a big thing. I don't get it, but a lot of people do, and that's fine, man. As long as people like the music and they come to the shows, that's all that matters, right? We
Yeah,
we
I
are
mean,
nothing but
I get
entertainers.
it.
Yeah. No, I'm just teasing.
He's got it set up, so he's got the whole band
Oh,
behind him.
they crush it,
So
man. Yeah.
yeah, I
Well,
mean, works well.
September 28th, Mike. Kick us off.
September 20th. So September 28th, the Coterie will once again be returning to the stage at Vixen in McHenry, Illinois, to support a charity which is still being discussed right now. I should have some news next week as to what charity that is, but we are performing the music of Yacht Rock. We have over 30 musicians coming out to support that event. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good time.
Wow. Speaking of,
Speaking of.
so you're gonna
Yeah.
do some what? Steely Dan, Loggins and
You
Messina.
absolutely. I mean, well, you have to do Steely Dan. I think
Daily, take me
Oh, there you
away.
go, Christopher Cross.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
that was you went from sailing into feelings, man. That was awesome. Whoa, 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 sailing. Yeah. So
Nice
we're gonna do
mashup.
that. It's gonna be great. I think Steely Dan, they're kind of like the godfathers of yacht rock, right? Didn't it all kind of start from the whole Steely Dan jam sessions and Michael McDonald coming out of that group? And
I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
and
they
they
started
absolutely
in the studio, so
100%. Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
yeah,
absolutely hate the term yacht rock.
Well, they
yeah,
can sue me.
100% hate it.
I
I don't think they hate
guarantee
it
you.
that much. When those checks keep coming to the mailbox, they love that term.
Well, they're all quite talented individuals, so
Right.
Oh yeah.
they could do anything they
This
want.
is a great opportunity to introduce Brian Priest and Dannie Schramm for the legendary Chicago McHenry, Illinois rock band Moon. These guys have been, I think this is their 45th anniversary of the founding of the band Moon, and I'm really privileged to be here today to introduce these guys because I think back, I was. I've not been a part of Moon my entire music career, but I can go back to, I want to say it was 1981 or 1982. My brother and I were staying at our dad's house in McHenry, Illinois, and we walked up to the Fiesta Days. and it was not the size that it is today. And I remember seeing this band, and what attracted me to them is they were playing Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne. And I can remember it as clear as day. And I think I was
Oh,
probably
yeah.
10, 11, 12 years old. And I remember standing there. And if I remember correctly, Danny was the singer, his brother Donnie was the drummer. I think Dan was playing a yellow guitar. For some reason, I remember this yellow guitar in my head. I could be wrong,
Hmm.
but I remember listening to that riff, that da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, and I
Oh,
had never
yeah.
heard that song before. The first time I actually heard that Crazy Train was Moon performing it. And I remember looking at those
Really?
guys and say,
Wow.
100%. And I remember just thinking to myself, this is exactly what I want to do. I want to be these guys, and then fast forward to around 1984, 85.
Yes.
It was
I
84.
was 84. I was really good friends with Bob Paskett and Randy Scott, who grew up in the same neighborhood as I did. And they were in a
Yeah.
band called Vengeance. And Mark Odette, who we were talking about earlier, was the lead singer of that band. And somehow I convinced my mom into letting Vengeance practice in my basement. Lo and behold, Brian Priest, who was the guitar player of Moon, when I first seen him, was the guitar player of Vengeance. And here we are today, man. I don't know how many years later, and these guys are coming together to do a show in July 26th, to help raise some money for the Illinois Cancer Foundation. It's not the Cancer Society. We wanted to keep something close and close to Illinois. And they asked me to MC the event. And I tell you, I'm ecstatic, man. So I get to be reunited with some guys that helped launch my little career in the Chicago rock scene. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce Brian Priest, guitarist, and Dannie Schramm, vocalist, guitarist from the band Moon.
Hello, hello.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you
Hey,
go.
Dan.
That
How
was
you
a
doing,
huge,
man?
that was a long intro, man. I give you guys the total history.
That was awesome, dude. That was awesome. Mikey, I haven't talked to you in so long.
And I think the last time you and I actually physically talked was probably like in 1987 when you guys were heading out to Arizona.
Yeah,
Right?
we went out there in 83, and then we came home for the summer of 84. And
Yeah,
that's when
something like that.
you had Vengeance
That's
in your basement and Moon in your garage.
That's right. Yeah, I remember. Well, I didn't. I have to say my mom allowed that. And in between you guys practicing, my band was practicing, right? So you guys would stop practicing. Then I'd have Tavo and Tony Mock and our drummer Jeff Hasselman come over. So I actually had 3 bands practicing at my house at once and never
Wow.
charged any of them. I missed an opportunity to make some money, man.
Like
That's a
studio.
trifecta, sir. That's a trifecta. Yeah, so we're excited. We got a lot of things rolling around in barrels right now. Mike, we really appreciate you, and is it Beth coming along to help?
Yep, that's going to help out too, right?
This we got a feeling there's going to be a lot of ticket purchases at that weekend, that week, and doing it. But Moon is in rehearsals and working with Ken Schultz, who is drummer for Million Mile Scream, Danny's band, and great working in his basement with him. We've got a good selection of songs, which I think you'll recognize once you hear them. It's mostly original music we're doing. These were real popular back then, and a lot of people still remember them. So we thought, we owe it to everybody to do these. So it's going to be fun.
How the hell you keep a band together for 45 years, Brian?
Well, you don't. I mean, we all moved on, obviously, but I mean, we went different ways. Danny went to Arizona, which is kind of funny because years later in the 90s, I went to Arizona and Danny was back here. I mean, everybody's been doing many different musical projects. And I got to tell you, my boys, Dan and Scott and Don, they stayed with rock, and man, they ran that up the pole, and they've done a really great job keeping rock music alive, and great rock music, like all the stuff we grew up with. And I tried different things. I really kind of branched out. I blame that on the guilt of my grandfather, who did everything. Put it on me, probably. Oh, you can do this and that. Oh, great. So now I got to do it. So I mean, I'm just a songwriter, so I do a lot of different stuff, and I'm all over the board on that. But yeah, when I heard Dan and Scott play again, it just brought me back, and I thought, holy crap, we got this.
Definitely having a good time. It feels really right, I guess is the word. Doing what we're doing at the moment, because to to pull up some of these songs that we haven't played. And, well, we did something like 17 years ago, didn't we, Brian?
We did. Well, first we did it in 2007. Well, so we got back together in '89 for a quick concert up in Johnsburg, and then 18 years later, we did it in 2007, and then we got briefly together in 2011 and did a rock set. The 2007 set was acoustic, 2011 was rock, and now 18 years later again, here we are. So, yeah, we've kind of been tipping the light fantastic on these old songs a little bit over time, and tickling each other, if you will. And now we're just gonna flat out bring it all together and put it out there.
It feels amazing to play these songs again, me personally, and to be able to sing some of the stuff that, you know, we wrote back in 1980, 81, 82, you know.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely, Dan. And it is fun.
You know, I'm sure for you guys, it's really emotional too, right? I think if I think back to the original Moon, it was Dannie and his brother Dannie Schramm on drums. Brian, you played guitar, and it was Scott on bass, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Is that's the original lineup? Unfortunately, Donnie's no longer with us. You know, we lost him a few years ago. And Dannie, I'm sure it's, you know, thinking back on that stuff. And I don't want to go to that, you know, pull the heartstrings, but you got to have a flood of emotions when you guys are jamming these tunes and just thinking back to that.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, we did a interview with this videographer. There's going to be like a 15-minute video that plays before we come on stage. And, it's just, you know, the whole emotional thing, man. It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
But it feels good, though. It feels right.
Well, and that's the great thing about music, right? It keeps, while it is emotional, it keeps those memories alive. And that's,
right.
You know, and it doesn't matter what memory it is. Music just we all have that connection. We can all relate to something. So it's, that again is one of the reasons why I'm so happy to be, you know, participating in this and be a part of what truly is, me personally, and I know in Chicago, it's rock history, right? You know, Moon, you guys were huge back in the day, when things were a little bit different. You know, music today is so different, not just the style of music, the genres, but just how the clubs and how people come out and support the bands. It's not like it used to be. And to say that you guys have a 45-year history, I think Seventh Heaven is probably the only ones that I can say, hey, these guys have been doing it for 45 years or
yeah,
you know,
they've been
close
consistent
to.
though, you know.
Well, you know, they've been consistent at Richie, right? I mean, they've had different, you're consistent in the fact
right.
that yes, they've been playing, you know, periods longer, but they took time off and then came back. So it just, you know, again, goes to that power of music and just how much it means to all of us. I think it's awesome.
Being different. And I totally agree. I mean, we used to rehearse, you know, we'd rehearse until 10 o'clock at night and then we'd take off and go out and go see live music. And you would run into all these bands that's playing some amazing original material. You don't get any of that anymore. You know, I really miss that. Everything's tributes.
That's true, man.
So Moon's been around. The name has been around 45 years. Dannie and Brian, how long have you guys been? Same amount of time? I'm trying to put the pieces together here.
Well, I mean, we are the original members, and Scott, who unfortunately could not make it on, is the third original member, the fourth being Danny's brother, Don, who's not with us anymore. But so, yeah, the three of us are pretty much the apex of that sound. And so we're all here. We've been like I said, we've been doing all kinds of different things over time, never really straying too far from the influence of what Moon meant to us, even that far back. I know it still plays in my mind. I've written songs about it because that's what I do. And, you know, it's just never really left me. And I was always grateful that it happened the way it did. You know, I don't regret 1 minute of 3 years with these guys. I mean, we did a lot in a short period of time. And, you know, I had people come up to me years later, I'm sure you too, Dan, saying, wow, Moon Band. And then they'd have some memory of it, which I would forget about. we
could be out having dinner with my wife and someone will walk up to the table and go, were you the singer in Moon? I'm like, yeah.
So I have a question for you though, Dannie, and where did the name come from other than, you know, there's a moon up in the sky? Who said like,
well,
this is the
here,
name of the band?
quick little story. We were a three-piece. It was Scott and myself and my brother. And we were playing backyard parties and stuff like this. I'm talking like when I was 18. And we wanted to come up with a name. And we first off, we had an old name, which was just like the party name. It was called Crank, which is just kind of lame. So we started looking for a lead guitar player, and we auditioned a few guys. And then Brian came down in the basement, and shit just clicked. I mean, everything was right there. So now it's like, all right, we got to come up with a really good name. And all of us being major Rush fans, I'm like, man, it's got to be one word, 4 letters, something, something that people can relate to. And my cousin said, how about Moon? And I'm like, oh man, like Shoot the Moon. I'm here, I'm seeing all that dumb stuff. And then about 2 days later, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, God damn it. Everybody in the world knows what the moon is. You know what I mean? It's so universal. So it just clicked. Everything just kind of fell into place. And then it took off quick for us. I mean, in those 3 years that Brian was in, I mean, shit happened really, really fast. I mean, real fast. We were playing a lot of shows.
What's your favorite venue back in the day to play? What would be
just gonna go there, Mike? You took it right out
Mike.
Of my, you got me, man.
Dan, go ahead. Tell them yours.
I would have to say Rocket North, man. We played there a lot of times.
Yeah, we did.
We saw you guys at Rocket North. My mom used to bring me up to those shows. I saw you guys up there. I saw Vengeance. Wasn't there a band called Axis, I think, at one time? Paradox?
Yep.
All those bands played up there, man.
Oh, yeah.
And I can remember being like 13, 14 years old. My mom would bring me up to the clubs in Wisconsin to see all my buddies who are my rock star heroes.
Yeah. Dan,
man, those clubs were amazing. We did a show one night where we were opening for the boys. And
good stuff.
And we got a call just before we're going on stage. And it was Mark from Rocket North. He's like, I need a band. I need you guys here right now. And we're like, dude, we're at Edgewater. We got a gig, We're getting ready to go on stage, but we were doing the opening slot. He goes, as soon as you're done doing your opening slot, can you jump in your shit and bring it all over to the Rocket North? And you guys, could headline over here because some band that he hired canceled or something. And the place was packed. So we spread the word around out in the crowd, and we probably took about half the crowd from Edgewater, and there was just a line of cars going all the way from Edgewater to Rocket North.
Yeah, that was
fun.
And
they had all their little helpers fucking hauling all of our gear up there and stuff, and it was amazing. It felt so right.
That's awesome.
We got on stage and just tore the place apart. It was really cool.
That's rock and roll.
It is.
Right on, man.
We have hundreds of those stories. We just can't tell them all.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Or we probably can't remember half of them either, right?
Well, yeah, maybe so.
So where was this Rocket North? Wisconsin? I don't even know. I'd never heard of it.
Wisconsin. Trevor, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Not
just
far
over the border on Highway 59.
Yeah, it's about 10 minutes from me.
Is it still there?
There you go.
I don't think it's there anymore.
No, it's not.
It needs to be,
the
man.
Old
Rocket
frame
North
for
again.
The sign is up, and that's it. They tore the building down.
That's so sad.
Really
that's like the Thirsty Whale, right?
Yeah.
The gas station.
Yeah.
Well, I think the Edgewater burnt down, didn't it?
They tore that down. That place was pretty trashed. I mean, they tore that down, and that's all condos down.
Yeah. So switching gears, Brian, I know you're doing your acoustic thing. Pretty much that's your full-time music endeavor. Danny, you have a few projects going on. Why don't we talk a little bit about those? Take a few minutes, Brian. Talk about what you're doing. I want to come back to the benefit show that we're going to be doing in July, but talk a little bit about what you guys are doing today, because I know you're still both pretty active.
Yeah. So I was in Arizona for almost 25 years. I came back in 2020, trying to get closer to my daughter, the grandkids, all that.
Oh, good.
And I thought, well, you know what? I still want to play. I don't want to do the full band engagement. So I put together an acoustic setup and started booking myself around. This was down in Kendall County and next door, Lake County, whatever around. And yeah, I had quite a few venues, and I would do that and it was fun reinterpreting. Then when we moved to McHenry about a year and a half ago, Eileen and I, my wife, we started booking into nursing homes, memory care centers, and we've been doing that for about 15 months. And I got to tell you, that is very rewarding. So now we're bringing that music to people who ordinarily wouldn't get it. And they're digging it, and it's working really well for us.
That's awesome. Talk about giving back, man. That's so cool of you.
For sure. It's fun, man. And it's great for us because we're challenged to learn new songs. And I mean old, like 50s and whatever. But yeah, it's been fun. And Eileen has a beautiful voice. So I just try to lay in the back and lay down the rhythm and give her a little bit of harmony here and there.
Is that pretty lucrative?
It is. It pays better than most clubs.
Interesting.
I do a 45-minute set. Unless I'm working at a larger complex where they have 2 buildings, then I'll do 2 sets, one in each building. And yeah, it's real nice. It takes me an hour and a half of music, and I walk away with a smile. Let's just say.
And you know what? Beyond the money, you leave a lot of smiles behind too, right?
Yeah.
Because
well, that's really what it's about. I mean, yeah, the money is nice to have that extra, and now that I'm retired, I really appreciate it. But more than that, I'm having fun with Eileen. She really has a beautiful voice, and we are just, people come up to us and they're smiling, they're tapping their feet, they're trying to sing to it, and we encourage all that. And my mother did that. She was a pianist, and I remember even 30 years ago, she'd grab me at Christmas time. Come on, we're going to go over here. We go to a nursing home. She'd sit down at a piano and we start doing Christmas songs. And, these people just loved it. And I guess you can say I picked it up from her, but yeah, it's been fun. And
85 to now, what have you guys, you've seen it all? What are some of the biggest changes that have come along? Napster, you know what I mean? Like what have you seen in
computers, period. Computers changed everything. As soon as they came on the scene. Oh, performance. Well, like Danny was saying, the club scene has changed dramatically. We even saw it when we were still together. They started bringing in I don't know, DJs and different shows, not bands. And we have this huge list of places we could go, and then that started shrinking a little bit. So I think over time, club owners went for simplicity and profit, and it was probably a lot easier for them to put a DJ in there or karaoke, and then get people to do that than to have an actual live band. To me, I think live is still the best. But, it's different generations that have been moving through their ideas.
The old canister lights with the wax gels in there versus the LED. I mean, that takes the stage temperature down quite a bit. You still sweat your ass out if it's 94 degrees out, but still.
I was going to say, you're seeing most musicians nowadays are a lot larger than they used to be back in the day. They were a lot skinnier because of, losing the weight because of those canister lights. No, Pete, I'm not pointing at you, man. I'm just saying it had nothing to do with the drugs they were doing. It was all about those canister lights.
And Danny knows this. We had a huge sound and light show, and it was all par 38s and what else is it? Par 50s or something back then. And then we'd have a spotlight, and we had pyro, and all of that is now
the toxic fog machines.
yeah, for sure. That was fun. I mean, we didn't know better. I think one time we didn't we set the roof on fire a little bit at Rocket
go back
North
to the pyro.
I remember those pyro shows back in the day.
The flash
Great White killed it for everyone.
No pun intended.
No
Michael Jackson.
Well, we did leave our mark on the ceiling, but luckily, nothing serious happened from that. But I mean, we're just, all that's changed now. It's all digital and computer programmed and all that. So I don't know, but bands like Scott and Dan are doing these great classic rock songs to a whole new generation. And these people may have never gotten the chance to dig into these bands. And then, like you, Mike, you know what that's about. I mean, keeping it up, man. And this is good. I think all these newer generations need to know where their musical sensibilities came from. And there's just
I got to tell
you,
you, it's funny you say that, Brian, because I was at Long Grove at the Long Grove Strawberry Fest over the weekend, and the headliner that night was Kashmir. And as I looked through the crowd, there were the older people, but there were a whole lot of like kids in there. I'm going to say like 18 to like 25 up front and getting into Zeppelin music.
Great. That's great.
Great to see. Yeah.
Well, Danny can tell you something about that because his son Vaughn will also be playing with us for this event. And he's turning into a really good guitar player. Not surprised, you know, a great teacher like Dan. But yeah, what do you think of that?
Well, anyway, my son Vaughn's going to be playing the guitar that night, and he's really good.
There it is. Can you hear me?
We can
Here's my
hear you now.
dog Foodie with a song you're going to love.
Sorry, man. I'm outside cooking on the grill.
That's all good.
Nothing like
yeah.
multitasking.
I have my 21-year-old son sharing the stage with me, and I've done it before a couple times. You know, we'd bring him up and he'd do a song, but he's actually going to do the whole show with us this time.
That's
so
great.
That to me is just amazing. It's anybody that has kids can tell you if you can do something like that, it's pretty damn cool. But yeah, he's the perfect example of what you guys were talking about before with these young kids getting into older music. And that's all he listens to. He listens to all the old stuff that I grew up with, all the Judas Priest and Dokken and all that kind of stuff. That's all he listens to. He doesn't listen to anything new.
You've taught him well.
40 seconds at a time.
And that's the thing too, because that's the thing too, is because I never really, forced it down his throat or anything. But like when we'd be in the car, I guess he was just picking it up because that's what I would have be, cranking on the stereo in the car. So, but yeah, it's awesome. It's a great thing, and I'm really looking forward to this show. We have besides my brother who died of cancer, but our stage manager that we had all throughout those years is a very, very close friend of all of us, Kent Butler. He just died. What was it, Brian? November?
6 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was wild. I mean, he wasn't feeling good. He went to the doctor and he passed in a week. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was a very aggressive. By the time he discovered what happened, it was over. So
yeah.
So yeah,
so,
Go
that
ahead.
kind of stuff, it all hits home. My wife she's a cancer survivor. She had breast cancer.
Yeah, Brian, speak to this show. Tell us where it's at, what time, all that. Where do we go? Where do we get tickets? What do we got to do?
Show up.
It's July 26th. It's at the Vixen in McHenry. Vixen is the old indoor theater that's right downtown on Green Street. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the hottest club now in the Chicagoland area, man. Everybody's, lining up to play the Vixen. Yes, that's
Absolutely.
right. Jeff the Specs Kleinschmidt.
Yeah, I've played there a couple
Hell of a
times
3-pointer.
with my other band. It's an amazing venue, but there's obviously we're headlining the show here, but there's another band called the Savory James Project, who's a good friend of ours, Mr. Jake Weingart, phenomenal guitar player, and John Todd is also playing with them.
Oh, I know.
These are all local guys as well. And then there's the Thompson Duo, which is Billy Thompson and his wife, and they do an acoustic show where they play everywhere. Man, every time I go online, they're somewhere. They're doing 3 shows in a day sometimes. But they're going to be opening the entire evening, and I think, what time did they start, Brian? 6:30 was it?
Yeah, I think doors open at 6, and then they'll start off at 6:30, and we'll just roll through that. And I don't know. I think Moon's supposed to come on sometime around
9,
9ish. Yeah,
8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it's kind of fluid because Mike, we're going to have you emceeing, and you'll be helping us out in between setup, breakdown, and raffling
Yeah,
off stuff. And
I'll be doing my juggling act, swallowing
there you go.
swords and
Yeah,
all
there you
that
go.
stuff. Telling bad jokes, dad jokes, bad jokes.
There you go. Taking
Mike-
requests.
Mikey Dermont's got to get back to drywalling.
That's right.
What are the shows coming up, boys? September 28th, Coterie. Bongo Mike, are you going to get some Jacksonville sunburn going in the back of your head at any?
No sunburn. July 3rd, though, I'll be at the with the Mosquitoes at the Morton Grove Days Festival. That's this week, 7 to 8:30 p.m., followed by High Infidelity. So that'll be good.
What about after
And,
that? The show's going to come out next week.
The show comes out a week later, so technically, yeah, it's good if you have something way out there. So we'll say I got Highwood Days Festival with Black Diamond Sessions on July 20th, and then July 19th, Long Grove Freshie Fest with the Mosquitoes opening for Dead Fest. So
we got to get Duff Rice back on this show. See what's going on. How did Strawberry Fest come out? Did it rain or is he okay? Is he going to be a good mood or bad mood?
I think Strawberry Fest was a success. I only went to one night.
Then I'll call him up. Rhodesy,
give him a call.
Rhodesy, what you got?
Gentlemen, before Rhodesy goes, I have to drop, guys.
All right. I was trying to move it along for you, Mike.
I know, guys. Hey,
right, listen, bye.
Everybody, bye.
See you, Mike.
Take care, man.
Mike.
Take care, man. Rock on, boys.
Rhodesy, what you got?
Well, like everybody else on the 4th of July, I think we're all playing somewhere over this weekend. But the Play the Future game, I think I'm playing with Focal Point out in Naperville at Potter's Place on July 18th, and then Renegade Wildflower out in Dubuque, Iowa on July 20th.
Get some corn.
And I just want to say real quick, I didn't get a chance to squeeze this in, but I've been lucky enough to be in a band with Dannie and Scott. And it's funny, the first time I actually ever went to a rehearsal with Schramm Weber, I remember I was just so starstruck because like Mike had said at the beginning, I went to Peterson Park to go see Moon. And I mean, it was just, a childhood kind of dream, like, oh man, I can't wait to be in a band with these guys and all that stuff. And then, 20 years later, I find myself over in Dannie Schramm's studio, jamming with him. I mean, it was awesome.
Dude, we did some good shows.
We did some really good shows, man.
I mean, you're a phenomenal drummer, man.
Hey, thanks. That Dogman video it's iconic.
It is. I love it every time I see it.
What are you talking about?
we did a show. I don't know.
Is it like the puppet with the cigar in its mouth?
No, Dogman by King's X.
King's X.
Oh,
they're going to be at the Vixen on the 6th.
Yeah. Okay. So we recorded that show. We got some video from that show, and Dogman. I think it's as good as the original in my opinion. But
it was a great band. We had a lot of good times.
Yeah, we did.
Can we get the clip and put it inside? Can we edit it in?
It's a great song. Check this shit out right here. This is called Dogman.
Unfortunately, and and Scott too, man. I'll tell you what, it's unfortunate he couldn't make it, but I can't say enough about that guy's talent. He is such an amazing bass player and so great on stage, energetic. I mean, he really is the real. He's been the real deal for a long time.
Definitely full of energy.
Oh, absolutely.
We saw him Thursday night. He was at Pearl Street Park Thursday night with his band.
Yeah,
and he's running all over the place, and it's storming, and they stopped, and then it stopped, and they started up again, and that's Scott, man. He's just a ball of energy.
Yeah, and the funny thing is their name is Storm.
Exactly. They riding the storm out. I told him he should play that.
Yeah.
Well, Brian and Dannie from Moon, thank you for showing up on the Hogpod podcast. Rhodesy, Bongo Mike, Mikey Dermont putting up the drywall. Everybody, stay cool out there, y'all.
Happy 4th of July,
guys.
Happy 4th, America.